Hi everyone. I'm going to teach you now what's called a three-step breathing space or a three-step anchoring space. This is a really kind of brief practice to try and help retune in and become aware of what is actually going on at the moment. It's a really standard practice that's used widely in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy and has also been integrated into other kind of programs too. And it's essentially exactly that, a three-step process to help you bring awareness to what is here kind of right now, to bring that sense of really clear attention to how you are, and then using the breath in particular in this practice to refocus yourself, and then to allow that awareness to fill out the rest of the body. And then you might even also use this to perhaps set an intention for the next steps for the rest of your day. So I'm going to use it in any particular way. So I will use the focus on the breath for my anchoring space, but it might be that the breath doesn't feel like a particularly sportive place to be at this particular time, in which case then you might find that focusing on the feet or focusing on the hands can also be a really effective mechanism to help you kind of recenter yourself effectively, really. So let me take you through this process. It can be quite brief, but you can also then extend it to make it as long as you feel particularly necessary. Sometimes people also use this practice if there's a greater awareness or a sense of feeling perhaps a little bit overwhelmed by things at any one time. It can help you perhaps create a pause in your day to kind of help you kind of interrupt what might be going on that isn't particularly helpful for you in that moment, and then kind of set an intention for that rest of the day. Or you can also use this at a particular moment in every day, like perhaps when you first wake up or even before you go to sleep. So there's lots of different ways that you can adapt it. So I'm just going to show you one particular way of using it right now. And the first thing that we do is to deliberately change our posture. So I'm still going to choose to do this kind of sitting down, but I'm going to be really aware of kind of like going, okay, yep, I'm actually going to be doing this practice. Sometimes it can be really helpful to kind of stand up and adopt a pose. So if you've practiced kind of like yoga or other types of mindfulness practices before, being in the mountain kind of pose where your feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart and your arms are down by the side. So there's this kind of real sense of opening up and holding the body with care in this particular way. So we can absolutely do that when we're sitting down too. And the invitation will be to close your eyes if that feels okay, or just have them kind of gazing down just in front of you. And if you could bring to mind the image of, say, an hourglass, where we kind of have a big space at the top and then a narrow space and then opening out again, that can really help with this actual practice too. Okay, let's give it a go. So let's imagine step one, the wider part of the hourglass. Step one, let's just bring in awareness to what is here right now. And in order to do that, we bring awareness and attention to how the body is. So what might be some body sensations that are present just now? So perhaps noticing a sense of temperature or tiredness, tension in the body. So there's no expectation here to change anything or to do anything or to judge anything that we have, but just to notice what is here. And we take our time to just notice all of the different sensations. And then noticing what emotions or feelings might be present as well. So happiness, calmness, a bit of worry, frustration, fidgetiness, whatever that might be. And it can be really helpful to name it at times. So feeling free to do that. And then moving up to become aware of thoughts. And again, just noticing, no judgment there, but just noticing what thoughts are present, kind of allowing them to be sort of reset in your mind. So we have this sense of all of these three things in awareness at one time. And then step 2, narrowing our focus now, so becoming the narrow part of the hourglass, really focusing down to this space and bringing our awareness just to the breath. So wherever that might be most accessible for you right now, so that might be in the nostrils, back of the throat, or the chest, or the belly. And the invitation is just to follow the in-breath, follow the out-breath. And as the mind wanders, which it's likely to do, just keep coming back. Just this in-breath. Just this out-breath. And when we might start to notice that things feel slightly settled, then we go into step 3, which is then to bring the awareness back out again to the whole of the body. So using the breath here to sort of fill out the body, taking that breath all the way to the edges. And just bring awareness to what's here. Now we might well notice that the body sensations, the feelings, the thoughts, they still may be here, but we use the breath to give a sense of spaciousness around them. Just holding them gently. And then in this final part of the 3-step process, we might help ourselves to set an intention. And we can do this by saying, how can I best take care of myself right now? How can I best take care of myself right now? And once that intention arises, we can open our eyes, kind of connect back into our spaces, and sort of be aware of what that intention was and whether or not that can be most supportive of us right now. So that's just a 3-step anchoring space.